So we have this question: for what range of values of y is y plus 1 over 8, y plus 1 over 8 greater than 1 over y plus 3? So the first thing we need to do to solve this question is to note that we have one fraction on either side of the inequality. And because we have one fraction on either side of the inequality, we cross multiply. Does that make sense? So we are going to be having y plus 1 times y plus 3. To achieve that, we put them in brackets. Y plus 1 times y plus 3 greater than 8 times 1 is 8. Does this make sense? So we need to open these brackets. Y times y will give us y squared. Y times 3 will give us 3y plus 3y. Plus 1 times y will give us plus y. Plus 1 times 3 will give us plus 3. And we have greater than 8. Now this will give us y squared plus 3y plus y will give us plus 4y. Then we have plus 3 greater than 8. Does this make sense? Now 8 needs to go to the other side. We'll be having y squared plus 4y plus 3. When plus 8 crosses the greater than symbol, we are going to be having minus 8 greater than 0. And this will give us y squared plus 4y plus 3 minus 8 is minus 5 greater than 0. Now having this, we can now take the first step. And the first step is that you turn the inequality to an equation. So we'll be having y squared plus 4y minus 5 equals to 0. Does this make sense? So we need to solve this quadratic equation. Minus 5 times y squared will give us minus 5y squared. Now we need to find the factors of minus 5y squared that when we add together we are going to get plus 4y. Now what are the factors of minus 5y squared? We can have minus 5y times y, and we can have 5y times minus y. Now these are the factors of minus 5y squared. Now let's add together to see the one that will give us 4y. Minus 5y plus y will give us minus 4y. 5y minus y will give us 4y. So it means that the pair we will be picking would be 5y times minus y. And we are going to be replacing it with plus 4y. That will give us y squared plus 5y minus y minus 5 equals to 0. I hope you understand. So if we factorize this, what is common to y squared and 5y? We have y into bracket. What remains? Y plus 5. What is common to minus y and minus 5? We have minus 1. And then we'll be having y plus 5. Now the reason why we have plus 5 is minus 1 times plus 5 will give us minus 5. Can you see? Please, if you do not understand this, make sure you watch the quadratic equation video. So we have equals to 0. Does this make sense? That will give us, since y plus 5, we are going to pick one, y plus 5. And then we'll be having y minus 1 equals to 0. So it means that y plus 5 equals to 0, or y minus 1 equals to 0. If y plus 5 equals to 0, it means that y equals to minus 5, because plus 5 will go to the other side, or y equals to 1. I hope you understand. So we go to the second step, which is to represent this on the number line. So let's draw a number line. We have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we can have 3, then we can have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, we can have minus 5, and minus 6. Does this make sense? Now don't forget the inequality. The inequality is y squared plus 4y minus 5 greater than 0. And since it's just ordinary greater than, it means that we have an open knot. So we represent y equals to minus 5. We come on top of minus 5 and we draw an open knot. And then we have y equals to 1. We come on top of 1 and we draw an open knot. Now we go to the third step, which is to test. Now we have y squared plus 4y minus 5 greater than 0. Now since 0 is between minus 5 and 1, we test by saying let y equals to 0. So anywhere we see y in the inequality, we call it 0. So we'll be having 0 squared plus 4 into bracket 0 minus 5 greater than 0. 0 squared is 0, plus 4 times 0 is plus 0, minus 5 greater than 0. So we are having 0 plus 0, 0. 0 minus 5 is minus 5 greater than 0. Now the question is minus 5 greater than 0? No. So what that means is that the arrow would not be cutting across the knot. Instead, it will be going to the other side. So we'll be having it going to this side and going to this side. I hope you understand. So if this is not true, it means that the arrows will go to the other side. If it is true, it means that the arrow will cut across the knot. I hope you understand. Now the last thing we need to do is to find the inequality represented on this number line. Let me rub up this side so that we can do that. So we are going to be having y. Now this is an open knot and the arrow is moving towards the left. So that will be less than. The knot is on top of minus 5, so minus 5. Now let's take the second knot. We have an open knot moving towards the right. So that is greater than. So we'll be having y greater than. The knot is on top of 1. So we have y greater than 1. Alright, so before we combine this inequality, I need to teach you something. So normally, to make things easier, the inequality that has greater than is always on the left hand side, so on this side. While the inequality that has less than is always on the right hand side, just to make things easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this inequality. So I'll be having y greater than 1, and then I'll be having y less than minus 5 on this side. Do you understand? Alright, so if y is greater than 1, it means that 1 is less than y. And then on this side, we still have y is less than minus 5. Does this make sense? So we combine these two inequalities. We are going to be having 1 is less than y less than minus 5. And this here is our answer. I hope you understand.